So today on Is It Worth It, we've got a small treat in store for you today. We've got the Juniper Blue Toyota Aygo X, or should I say crossover. Yes, it's box fresh. It was only produced this year, so you can't actually get the old model Aygo at all. And we're going to give it a full test drive and review. Let's get right to the video. So the Toyota Aygo in itself, as a model, started life way back in 2005. And was a joint venture, if you can remember back to the mid-2000s, with Citroën with the Citroën C1 and Peugeot with the 107, and it was all made in the same factory as well in the Czech Republic. Back in 2018, it had a second generation with a bit of a redesign, and now in 2022, it looks very funky looking, and you've also got these new body styling, which is a bit more kind of dense down with the Toyota badge in the middle. Toyota are appealing to a younger, more urban crossover kind of style, and to be honest, I quite like it. This front end is a bit more reminiscent of Toyota's new design language, same with the RAV4. The trim we've got here is the exclusive, so you get some added extra bits. You've got the two-tone colour at the top, you've got the black with the coloured wing mirrors, and also with the blue Juniper, and those accents are all shown throughout the cabin as well. So let's talk about a side profile on the Aygo X, and as you can see, if you come here quickly, you've even got the Aygo X printed on the daytime running headlights. On the side, this is an A segment car, so it's a smaller segment of car you can get, and you actually get 18-inch alloy wheels, which are quite big wheels really for this kind of segment of car. I do like, as mentioned before, the two-tone colour. You've got the black here on the wing mirrors as well with the Juniper Blue, and also on the side, just to make it look a bit more rugged, a bit of rubber detailing on the side here, but it's actually plastic. On the back here, again, the two-tone kind of stretches itself out to here and then cuts off in like an X pattern, so it just looks very funky and youthful. So let's take a look at the rear design on the Aygo X and also the boot space. I do like the wraparound LED lights, similar to the older generation. Also, the full privacy rear glass makes it look like it's one pane of glass, and I do like that. So the boot space is actually only 231 litres, which even for a small car, not that big. Other rivals such as the Kia Picanto give a lot bigger boot space. You can fold the rear seats down. Have a look in here, you've got an Aygo crossover badge mat there, and you don't get a spare, you just get the normal compression kit as standard. It's okay, but it's not the best.
So let's take a quick look at the specs. There are 4 different trims with the new Aygo crossover. There is the entry-level Pure, the Edge, and we have the exclusive Trim Plus. There is also a limited edition available with a canvas roof. This 2022 Aygo crossover uses a slightly reworked version of Toyota's GAB platform, meaning it's totally different platform used from the previous 2 versions of the later Aygos. The Aygo crossover still uses a 5-speed manual though, which drives the front wheels and is powered by a very efficient 1 litre. This gives 70 brake horsepower, 93 Newton meters of torque, and a 0 to 60 mph time in 14.4 seconds, and a top speed of 98 miles per hour. The economy is excellent with a 56 to 56.5 mpg.
So what's the interior like inside the Aygo crossover? The cabin is quite spacious. You've got the elements of the Juniper Blue from the outside all the way to the inside as well, as you can see. You've got the exclusive trim, so you get the nice 9-inch entertainment touchscreen. It's a bit of a fingerprint magnet, tracks loads of dust. What I do like as well, you've got the wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless charger in the middle. So these are all kind of modern, up-to-date specs for an A-segment car, and I like this new dash they've got on this oval design feature. This isn't anywhere where Toyota have scored quite highly in the past on the entertainment. Usually the user interface was quite laggy and old, but this, they've seemed to come up with the goods this time. It's quite easy to use, it's basic. They do have buttons, which is nice to see, but I'd rather see a volume rocker. But they've actually done the job right with the aircon as well. And the air conditioning in here is that for a small car is really good. In the centre you've got USB-C and a normal volt socket there, and it's just one great big handbrake. You've only got one little cup holder there at the back. You've got a nice glove box there, big enough to put some stuff in. You've got some door bins there, which are just big enough to put 1 or 2 cans in. The stitching on here as well, it's quite nice and very comfortable, these seats. You've got part leather, part fabric with some blue design on there as well. And here in the centre for the driver, you've got a digital rev counter there, as you can see, as well as the analog speedometer, but also your fuel is digital as well. So you've got a nice balance there. And in the middle gives you some information, active lane keep assist, your radio, etc. You've got some funky styled air vents with black plastic. And I just want to point out that the material, so you get the metal that you get from the outside, stems through into the cabin. So I quite like that. It's a nice touch. That's reminiscent of like a Citroen C1 as well. A nice big leather steering wheel, ones that you probably find on higher models such as the Toyota Yaris, and of course you've got your entertainment buttons on here that you can use. Now up top here you've got your light and you've got an SOS switch as well, so if you break down you've got someone to call. Normal vanity mirrors with no light, but you can tell overall the cabin is built to a cost. I mean, it's a small city car. So let's talk about the practicality in the back. First off, I just want to point out the doors do not fold out very far, and I've got quite long legs, and yeah, it's quite hard to get in, and I've pushed that seat forward. Headroom, well, I'm over 6 foot. You do get quite a lot of headroom, which is quite good. It's quite a tall car, really. It's a lot longer, it's a lot bigger and wider than the old Aygo models as well. It curves up a little bit, so yeah, but leg room, it's not that good. You still get the same cheap kind of plastic feeling materials on the back of the doors as well, with the door cards, and also the mix with the back. You don't get any sort of electric windows, it's just a manual pull-out window, which isn't really the best in the back here. You don't get an armrest. The seats for free, but I'd probably say there's not much space for anyone in the middle. The seats are quite nice, comfortable fabric with the leather, but you've got no stitching in the back, so it's very basic in here. You get no USBs or anything like that, and you just got a single cup holder in the middle. Just wanted to point lastly is you get these extra rugged grip mats just to go along with that adventurous kind of style. But yeah, not the most room in the back of the Aygo crossover. So firstly, when you start up the Toyota Aygo Cross, you've got to press the engine start and stop button, keep your foot on the clutch. It's quite standard nowadays for most cars. The driving position's good, even though for quite a small-ish car in an A-segment car, you do feel quite high up. The roofline of the car can kind of get in your way if you're a little bit 6 foot, but you do have enough headroom, which is good. This is something that Toyota are doing now. They're potentially maybe getting rid of the base models and using a crossover variant in there. They've already done it with the Yaris Cross. They've also done it with the Corolla Cross, and now obviously the Aygo Cross. It's a 5-speed manual, and you've got a normal handbrake. You can get the Toyota Aygo Cross in automatic and manual, but they all just come in a 1 litre 3-cylinder as well. It's a very reliable engine. It's made for city environments. It's not made for long cruising, but you can do it. It's just the engine revs quite a lot. Let's give it a try. I've got the automatic lights on, which is good. The suspension, you've got McPherson at the front and you've got torsion at the rear. Toyota have actually tweaked the steering with city environment in mind, and you can tell that straight away. The steering's not amazingly direct, but it will get you around a corner. The only issue is I wouldn't go around some corners at speeds. You will potentially get quite a bit of body roll, especially a car of this shape, boxy shape. It's quite tall as well. So the good thing about the 1 litre 3-cylinder engine is it's a VVT as well. I don't want to bore you with all the specifics, but VVT is variable valve timing, and what that would do is potentially just give a little bit more power. So it's quite a lively engine. It does over rev, but also is very, very reliable engine as well. For cruising, it's not that bad, but you do get a little bit of road noise in the cabin. It's understandable, it's only a 1 litre. It goes through the gears well. It's a nice lively engine. The gear throw's good as well. It's very satisfying getting it into gear. But yeah, if you're wanting that power, just it's not there. You will be overtaken by trucks, etc. Remember, this is a crossover designed for city environments, urban environments. It gives the impression that it can do more. And can it? Well, yes, but I wouldn't be taking it on any 4x4 adventures. Toyota doesn't specify that this car is made for that at all. They say it's more for city driving. So let's wrap up this video review on the new Toyota Aygo crossover. It's a great looking car and really does kind of push the boundaries on what a small A-segment car is capable. It's great looking. You've got some really good up-to-date tech in there, but also you get the SUV and crossover style vibes as well. The engine, it's not groundbreaking, but it is good to do the job for city car driving. And the practicality, it could be better in the back. However, more importantly, we'd like to know what you think of this new Toyota Aygo crossover. Please let us know in the comments below if you think it's worth it. So a big shout out to the RRG Group, Toyota Berry, for letting us review this new Toyota Aygo crossover. If you are interested, we'll leave the links in the description below.